Hi, my name is Tom, and this is my guest today. It's the Entropic Doom voltage-controlled noisolator from AJH Synth in England. Now, AJH are specialized or most known for their faithful transformations of classic Moog circuits into the modern Eurorack world, but they also carry modules that do not refer to the world of Moog circuits. And one of these is the Entropic Doom. Putting this into my rack, I quickly realized that I very much liked the sound of the low-pass filter in there. It's a 24 dB filter, so relatively steep, but you can also switch select 3 and 2 poles. The filter is fully spec'd with voltage-controlled resonance, 1 volt per octave. It even has a fine-tuned control that we can see around there. So it turned out that this module could also replace another filter. So in my first examples, I never used any other filter, and I was really satisfied with the sound. The sound has really some grit to it, some character, and sounds very and so does the VCA, which I personally did not use in these examples simply for the reason because I was using a 4-way mixer anyways, and I always had a channel 3, for example, to do some feedback, some external feedback and stuff. And there's also a ring modulator. The noise core, however, in this module is CMOS based. CMOS parts are logic parts. I don't know really much about it, so it's not necessary for me to try to explain things that I'm not familiar with really, but for the VCA at least this would mean that the VCA had some it's a bit rougher. Therefore it could easily add to the characters or cleanness of the other VCAs. The sound of the filter, the sound of the noise itself. The reason that it had 2 different audio outputs, I like this very much if a module gives you different blends or colors of its generated sound. I think this is extremely useful in the modular world. This knob here, the audio in, acts practically as a crossfader between the internal and the externally applied signal. The blend kind of noisifies the signal, adds like scratchy tones and stuff that you can well hear in my third sound example. The sync input, I guess, is relatively unique to a noise module. I did not use this simply I checked it, of course, but I found that adding the same signal here or there brought up a similar sound, and so I thought I prefer the audio input simply because then I had the option to have a more pronounced blending between the noise and the external signal. But talking about it now, I realized that I should have tried to add 2 very different signals here, and then you could activate the one happening on this sync activation knob here, which sets the amount of syncability, or however you want to explain this. And you had also the ability to use this feature here. So this module really is a 100% recommendation to anybody who likes to paint their music with noisy structures. I also liked it a lot with my spring reverb. I think they go together super well. So enjoy the sound, have a nice day, and also a nice next day, of course. Make some nice music, enjoy the music. Bye.
Doom.